Hey guys, welcome to my YouTube channel again to set up part ones. Like to thank and give a shout out to all of you guys that have watched my last two previous videos. I feel like I really appreciate that. I have a video in the last couple, I'd say 2 weeks. I've just been caught up with a lot of other stuff like work related, which I'm supposed to be putting out content on this almost every week. And like I said, I'm a man on a mission. But again, I'd like to say welcome to the channel. For all of you guys that don't know, my name is Luik, and I would like you to subscribe to the channel. Definitely, if you're interested in, for me sharing you my amazing path of giving my life to Yahshua Ha Maschiach perspective. But today's topic I want to talk about is about the lukewarm believers, or like many people like to say, the lukewarm Christians. So again, I don't need to explain what lukewarm means to you. Self-explanatory. And that terminology is used a lot against Christians that are like, they claim they believe in God, they believe in Jesus, but yet they haven't fully yielded and submitted to Him, meaning they're living still according to the standards of conforming to society than not conforming into society, to what not religion but Christianity says. Christianity is not a religion. It's just following Christ. That goes against everything biblical wise, meaning if you want to follow Christ, this is a certain type of way that you're supposed to be living, which is against with what society kind of abides with and agree with. So the lukewarm believers there's a lot of them out there. I'd say I would like to consider myself, I was one of them to a certain point, because my walk with God at a certain stage of my life is I rebelled against Him, without even knowing I was rebelling against Him, because I was just a bit confused with with Yahshua and God. Anyways, I would like to say, I call God Elohim and I call Jesus Yahshua only because of, Jesus' name is Yahshua Ha Maschiach in his native tongue, which was Hebrew. And they referred to God as Elohim, which Elohim means God in Hebrew. But, again, God's name in Hebrew as well as other names is Yahweh, which signifies salvation and stuff. So I like to call them by the native names because there's like power into the name sounds a bit more original and stuff. But going back to the sense where I was talking, I rebelled against God, without not knowing, because of where society was bringing me to, and I understood that very quick. Thanks the Lord, and got saved. And the lukewarm churches are the ones that they admit God's existence, they believe in God, they believe in Jesus, but they haven't yielded. So they still doing stuff as in, i.e., you're not married, but yet you're fornicating. You still got a boyfriend or you got a girlfriend. Like, that's just a perfect example for young people like us, because I was one of them. I believed I believed in God. I believed in Jesus. I didn't fully submit to them, but there was things that I picked and choose what I can do and stuff, which many of us at some point we were doing, which is understandable. But it's like, you have to understand that's not how the whole spherical idea about the Bible, that's not how it works. You can't just pick and choose what you like and what you want, because to understand God's full grace, you have to give Him a chance to fully dive into it and be able to understand this meaning and what's this whole meaning in terms of what we're living in, and the whole purpose. What's the whole point and whatsoever. And again, don't get me wrong, I'm not saying I have all the answers and whatsoever, but the Lord has provided me answers that really got me into seeking His face and stuff. But a friend recently hit me with the sense, asking me a question where he was challenging me about my faith. And you know what? It was very interesting. I loved it, because it's a thing where if your foundation is weak, you'd be shaking very easily. There's this If you know about Matthew 7, I'm going to Matthew 7 from the New Testament. I believe it's from verse 21 going all the way to verse 27, speaking about when the Messiah will come back. Yahshua will be coming back, and many people are going to be saying, as in, Master, we've been prophesying about you, we've been casting out devils about you and all sorts and that. And Jesus replied, this is what Jesus said to his disciples of when he was on earth and stuff, saying how the end of days was going to be. And he responded to those guys that were saying that we prophesied for you when they come back, as in saying like, hey, we happy to see you, this is what we did. Jesus responded in a way where he rejected them. Then he's saying, I don't know you guys. Like, do you know what I mean? And then he utilized a parable of the building a house on a rock than building a house on the sand. Now, from what I got from it, from what I feel like the Spirit kind of spoke to me about, made me understanding, it's about how people's faith are built in today. A lot of people are following the path of, Jesus, or path of religion, or whatever they want to put it. They have very weak foundation, which when they are challenged, they cannot really back it, or they get shaken, which gets them to the point where they start doubting, and it just makes other unbelievers just look at them like fools or coons, or just having a joke at them, or just, or just they start questioning everything. So meaning that your faith is built on on sand. So Jesus explained it as in like, the man that built his house on the sand. So when the tornado, the flood, the water came in, it wiped out the whole house, because the house, foundation of the house was weak, was built on sand. It wiped out the whole house because the house, foundation of the house was weak, was built on sand. Compared to the wise man, he built his house on rock. So when the floods came, the water came, and the house withstand the flood and the strength of the waters and everything, it didn't collapse, it didn't go. So put that into perspective, as in that's how your faith is supposed to be. Your faith is supposed to be really strong, where people will challenge you, they'll come like a storm. Hence why I was speaking about this friend that was challenging me. I was glad he did that, because as much as I like to think I'm a very calm and composed person, every single aspect of what was asking me, he probably didn't give me the chance to elaborate myself very well, which I wasn't trying to convert him or something like that. That's not what I'm doing, and I don't think that's what Jesus says, because if that was the case, he would have come and he would have tried to convert everyone. It's not really the case whatsoever. It's for those that have ears to hear and eyes to see. It's, I say this every single time now, because it's very deep, if you really look into that context. But you have to build that your faith has to build on a foundation, as in, don't just do something based on that's what people are doing, or that's what the norm is doing. What's your experiences? Why are you following this? You're going to be like, oh, there is a God. Like many people say, yeah, there is a God in there, whatsoever. But when you're going to come across people that will really question you and push you to the edge, especially when you're indoctrinated with religion, and I'm always going to pull out the Catholic religion, because that was where I was born into, like with me right now, I'll flesh out a Catholic person about the religion very quick if they don't understand the aspects of the scholarship about his religion, than just understanding the whole religious side of it, when you need to understand the scholarship, as in knowing the academic side to it, as in explaining the roots of your religion in terms of from going back to when it started, what's the whole purpose, what was it built on, what's the MO about the religion and so to today, rather than just born into the religion and followed it because so and so father did this, and for so long down the line we was always into it because I'll flesh you out if you don't know that whole history about the religion stuff, because it will question you once you know certain stuff about your religion. So that's what it means by building, having something core to, a strong foundation. Now, going back with what Jesus said, saying he didn't know them, Jesus was saying it in a way where many people just preach his name in vain. They don't know Jesus, and as in knowing Jesus, meaning that you have to kind of change your lifestyle. You have to change yourself when you get to know Jesus. Pick myself as an example. Everything about you will change from the moment that you accept Jesus in your life. You give him a chance. If you genuinely seek him from the bottom of your heart, you give him a chance, he will work some miracles in your life. Believe me, I am someone to put my hand up and just say, I could see it, and I could see from my behavior and how I'm acting and how I'm doing things, from my thinking pattern, from I had to acknowledge a lot of stuff about myself. I had to acknowledge stuff as well about who the enemy is, and in terms of how the enemy works his ways to try to get me to be back to where I am and whatsoever. Hence why that's where Jesus said, this is where I come in. You call my name because there is power in my name. So the lukewarm believers, the video that is a lot for lukewarm believers, as in there is no point you being a lukewarm, because it's actually very dangerous. And Jesus speaks again about lukewarm people in Revelations, and saying how he spew you guys, spew lukewarm people. It's like you're neither hot or cold. And that's a bad thing. Like, as in hot meaning you're hot for Jesus, like you're into his following him or whatever, and then cold meaning you're in the world, if you know exactly what I mean by not conforming to the world. So yeah, it's something I just felt like I had to put out there, because the church is dying, and I know a lot of people think the church is the whole, the building and everything or whatsoever. The church is us. We are the church. We're supposed to be living examples of the Messiah. We're supposed to be his followers and be like him. 6 months ago, if you asked me about all of these stuff, I would have, I had this saying I always used to say to my aunts whenever they told me about God and Jesus. I always used to say, spare my life, man. Like, I'm trying to live my life. I'm young and whatsoever, but Yahshua is powerful. And I'm saying it to anyone out there that had heard or born in religion or had used to be in it and went back, give him a go. And I'm not saying it because of being born. It's amazing what the Lord can do if you really give him a chance. And many of us are deep down, we fear a lot, because we say to ourselves, either I want to live my life first, I want to have fun, I want to do all the crazy stuff, and maybe when I get married and I get older, I might think about it and stuff like that. Or you're in religion and again, like I said, you're just in it because you were born into it. The foundation is not strong, because you need to have a strong foundation, and foundation can come in so many other ways, whether it was from experience, it was a miracle you saw, or something that happened that changed you. The Lord changed something about you, and you go and you do your research. It's like people like me, you start researching. Once you research, it's still not enough, because there's only so much how much the carnal brain can show you. But when you now bring God in the other picture, in the other aspect, you ask him, you seek him, and once he starts revealing himself and whatsoever, it starts adding to the piece of missing puzzles of the fragmented pieces that was already there, laid on based on those research and based on other stuff. When God comes in, he starts filling these parts, and you start having a crystal clear view. It's very difficult to explain that to someone that's on a very defensive mode. If he kind of has to lay low, lay back a little bit, and kind of has to give the Lord a chance. There's this thing about if you guys heard about Pascal's Way. Pascal's Way was a philosophy that was adopted by Blaise Pascal. This was a French philosopher back in the 1600s. So it's very interesting. You guys should check it out. And what I liked a lot about the saying, it says that if I recall, he's saying that if you bet on God, and you open yourself to his love, you lose nothing. However, if you bet that there was no God, you stand on losing everything in this life and the life to come. Like, yeah, I was just trying to, it was quite very long, but yeah, that's what it means. So what it simply means is like, you have nothing to lose if you bet on God. You know what I mean? As in, if you bet on God, you've got nothing to lose. Meaning, if it's not true, this whole thing about believing this, if it's not true, you ain't got nothing to lose. You know what I mean? It's just whatever. It was just a thing. However, if it's something that stands, which is true, you have a lot to lose. Literally a lot to lose. So it's just to say to people that are like lukewarm about this, like that, like, hey, listen, like, that time is gonna come one day. Like, you have to say to yourself, like, you know what? Let me believe in something. Let me believe in a notion, and go with the ideology of, I'm gonna believe in God and believe that there is a God, and go on hardcore about it. If there's no God, so be it. I'm dead. Poof, disappear. Like, some people out there, I don't want to mention what group or what genre group they say about what happens about life and death, but I was one of those people. Like, I was like that as well. But there'll come in time in your life where you're either going to be one or the other way and stuff. But that's all I had to say. I'll be bringing out more videos, don't worry. I hope I kind of like touched anyone out there, that kind of like felt like, like what this guy was really talking about. Hence why I'm a man on a mission. You're gonna hear me say that a lot, because this is what the Spirit is leading me to do. I have to kind of like put my stuff out there and stuff. You know what I mean? It's for those that have, and the drill already. Yeah. So please, subscribe, like, and comment the video. I'd love to hear from you guys. You know what I mean? I'm not doing this to seek approval or validation from you guys, but it's always good to connect with you guys and see what you're saying. You know what I mean? I'm just a man playing my part. But yeah, catch you guys.